as they will get ready for their warm-ups for this final championship and a first prize of $70,000. A very friendly hello to you, everybody. Player here. Then against Renee Simpson-Alter in the second round, she won that match relatively easily. Isabel Cueto of Germany, Natalia Sverova of the Soviet Union, and then in the semi-final, Paddy Fendick of the USA. For Gabriela Sabatini, of course, she also got a bye in the first round, and then she beat Federica Bonsignore in the second round. Luann Spadia, 18-year-old from Boca Raton. In the quarterfinal, Helena Sukova, and then Arancha Sanchez-Becado in a very tough semi-final match. With me again, of course, Mary Carrillo.
The court as much as possible. And there are two things that can happen. When Steffi's in control, she runs around and hits her big forehand. When she's not in control and her opponent hits too good an approach shot, she's stuck with hitting a backhand pass up the line. Now, there's a third option that Steffi doesn't think of that might be useful. When you see your opponent's going to hit the backhand approach with the open face, you sneak in, play it in the air, up the line, hit a volley, surprise him for a winner. She ought to try it.
Interesting idea, Mary. Whether she can do that or not, can she win this match today? Can she turn it around after 4 straight losses?
I think she has to. I mean, that's really how I feel about this. The French Open isn't too far away. She doesn't want to go into a Grand Slam with such a mental problem against a player. I honestly feel Sabatini's the better player all around, but she is a little bit under the weather. Graf really wants it badly, and she's hungry, so I give a very slight edge to Graf.
Again, I think it all depends on the conditioning, as I think you do as well, but if she's in reasonable shape, I think that Gabriela Sabatini will win today. This is the final of the Bausch & Lomb Championship from Amelia Island, and our coverage today is being brought to you by Bausch & Lomb, Healthcare and Optics Worldwide. And by Michelob Dry Beer. Once you experience the bold taste with no aftertaste, there's no going back. Final of the women's singles, best of 3 sets here on Amelia Island. Steffi Graf will take on Gabriela Sabatini in a very meaningful match for both players. In a moment. That the humidity and the heat, it kind of tends to gather down there. Steffi Graf is from Brühl, West Germany. She's 21 years old. She has already won a Grand Slam. Other folks, including myself, thought she would have, by this time, already have won a second Grand Slam, but that has not happened.
Well, last year, obviously, it was well chronicled that she had all kinds of problems on and off the court, but she's actually playing very, very well in the last couple of weeks. In fact, in the last couple of matches, she's had twice as many winners as unforced errors. She seems to be using patience and selectivity without sacrificing the big game that she has decided she is going to stick with. I mean, she's decided in the last few weeks that she is going to go back to her native strengths, her big forehand, her big serve, her high-risk game. And though everybody, including this woman, has been trying to attack the backhand and has done it successfully, Graf has decided now that she will not change her backhand. She's going to die with her boots on if that's what has to happen.
Sabatini, born in Buenos Aires, and that's where she still lives most of the time. She also spends a lot of time in Key Biscayne, depending on how much time she has to get back all the way down to Buenos Aires. Between trips on the tour, head-to-head between these two has been interesting. It started out, it was all Steffi Graf. But the last meeting was the Lipton this year. Sabatini won that after losing the first set 6-love, came back and won the second set in the tiebreak, and then the third set easily 6-1. It looked at that stage like there was no way, in my opinion anyway, that Sabatini could lose to Graf if she was in good condition, and frankly that's how I feel the outcome of this match will be, but it really depends on Gabriela Sabatini and her conditioning. She played a very rough match yesterday. I hope you had a chance to see it alongside us.
By the way, perhaps it's just a show of nerves. Maybe it's not that, but Graf already changed rackets twice in the warm-up.
Gabriela Sabatini to serve.
So you just wonder if she's a little unsure of herself or trying to find a racket with a little more magic in it than the others.
I think it's the former of those two, Mary. I think she's a little nervous, a little tight. It's understandable. Tom Cook is in charge of proceedings for this afternoon. He's from Sarasota. Best of 3-set final. $70,000 at stake here. Sabatini now the number 3 player in the world.
spoke to Carlos Kilmeyer about an hour or so before the match, and Carlos said that Gabriela Sabatini had a good warm-up today, a little shorter than usual, but she missed very few balls, and he felt that physically she'd be really pretty good for this match.
Right, that's the key right there. Being in shape for it.
Well, days like today, you really don't need too long a warm-up. Usually, Gabby would maybe hit about an hour. Maybe today she did closer to a half hour. And usually what Steffi likes to do is come out early in the day, hit for about 45 minutes, and then come back out on the court within a half hour of the match and get a little warmed up.
Breakpoint first game. We've been coming down here to Amelia Island now for years, of course. ESPN. Take a look at this.
So, of course, Graf, in an effort to run around her backhand, trying to go for big forehands. We're going to see a lot of that today. Graf has been so effective at breaking serve all week long. In fact, her opponents have just held 7 times in the 4 matches she's played this week. Sabatini's been breaking just as easily. Serve is a key to this match. One of them.
So is the return, of course, and the breaker serve. The first blood goes to Steffi Graf.
Familiar with her big forehand and her foot speed, which gets her, which makes her able to run around her backhand side, and her big serve, which we're about to see. The weaknesses, of course, are that she does have limited tactics, and she does have an attackable backhand. One of the reasons I feel that, you know, everyone's thinking Sabatini needs a short match to try to beat her in straights, but I disagree with that. When I say limited tactics, I mean that Graf she's got a very high-risk game, and she counts on it to win for her. That she hits more winners than errors. She doesn't go to the net. She doesn't mix it up. Sabatini likes a long match because that forces her opponent to hit more, try to hit more winners. Sabatini has added so much to her game in the last half year. The variety of strokes, improved confidence, surely, from all the great wins she's had and all the good tennis she's played and all the new aggression in her game. Again, the fitness level is a question. We don't know how weak she is, and she does have an attackable serve, which has already been broken.
15-all in this second game of the match.
Sabatini.
There it is. And that's wide. She wins the point. Graf had the court to herself and missed the volley.
It was a delayed call.
I'm not sure if Graf knows it was wide, Pam.
No, Steffi at this point thinks her shot was good, and the linesman check the mark.
Yeah, it was clearly wide. Look at this.
You can see she was moving a little bit. She had an easy forehand volley. Just had to pop it into the court and missed it wide.